main ones to benefit from it is different. You know, if I have a liquor store and everyone only comes to my liquor store, you know, I control the business, and that'll push out other people from running game on us. As a group, we should go to town meetings and stuff, and you know, just basically push to be against negative stuff. And to go off of the thing that Portis was saying about building what we should build, I had wrote some notes here. I said I think more community building activities. You know, I think a lot of the time, we don't take too much pride in it. Well, at least I can only speak from where I'm from. We don't take too much pride from the community that we in. You know, it's been so warped with different groups here and there that it almost is like basically like gentrification. Like, you know, it's changed. The community and things that are being put in the community don't reflect the people that live there. It's like you know, as far as services, why all the Chinese people and Asians own the hair stores, but none of them got a weave in. So it'd be like stuff like that. Like why the community don't reflect. I mean, why the services that are provided in our community don't reflect us. And I think we should be pushing to own these things, not just create our own and have our own business, but push these things out. Because if you know, in the heart of these in the shit, I'm stripping over my words. In the heart of these communities, in the heart of our community, if we have a hair store or a nail salon or whatever that's more easily accessible, more times than not, a lot of the people from our community will just go to that one because it's closer. So if we own those locations and we buy these locations out, now we basically, you know, we monopolize the building and we own everything and push everything else out. So I think we should be looking into, you know, owning these properties, even if we have to pull money together just to own it, not even just to have it be owned and brought up. That way they can't do what they want with it. I was also saying petitioning for things that reflect the demographic of the people that live there. So that would go back to talking. That's why I say important. One thing is important is pushing for people to be put in places like mayorship and all that stuff, so that we have an ear that we can push for things to be put in the community and for them to use the money that they do have access to for the right stuff that we need in our communities. Um, and one another thing too, what has kind of to do with building, but I heard it be brought up about trades, but maybe creating a program or something that's a school to trade pipeline. Like instead of, you know, because the alternative of going to college pretty much is a trade, you know, but having that immediate, because where I'm from, we have trade schools. Like we go high school is trade school. They teach you trades while you're in there, and you basically get a trade when you get out. But having more schools like this, or pushing for schools that give you, you know, a better alternative, or an alternative that's different from just college, may be a good thing. Because, you know, we're always going to need trades, we're always going to need plumbers, we're always going to need electricians, who do construction. And I think we could flip that into making and building up the community too.
I love this. So I want you to know, after the last video I did, besides the Senegalese part, the Senegalese clip from TikTok, that was the very next live I saw. That's what Delineation is doing. Is having forcing us to have this conversation, because literally today, this young brother out of Houston, he's working out of Houston. He's from Dallas. I'm from Fort Worth. He was delivering a hospital bed to the hospital. So I asked him, you know, what you do. Hit him up on LinkedIn. So I'm gonna compile some stuff together, because as we push these folk out, we need to take over his jobs. But we need our folk trained up. We need to know what they need to look for, what they need to do. I talked to two older gentlemen that work for Next Air, Nexair, here in Memphis. and they was letting me know what needed to be done. So I took notes. So yeah. What Tariq did was he put out a term that people could readily understand and that could help us codify better. That's it. He's not a leader, right? He just say, hey, I have the time, the resources, and to think about these things. He put out a term. Hey, that makes sense. It makes sense. We run with it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? He's a thought leader in this. He's an influencer, thought leader, just like Jason Black, just like myself, just like Afro Elite, Black Alpha Network, um, Professor Black Truth, Philip Scott, all these brothers, our sisters, ZZ Rants. We got a couple other sisters I don't really listen to like that. We got Tori Rain. We got all these black folk who are thought leaders, but they're not a leader like, hey, come to a church and an organization and sit in the building. No, none of that. None of that. But that clip that you saw, that live, is what Delineation is doing. It's making us have these conversations. Once we get these folks out of these jobs that they took away from us so they can underpay them and put a whole bunch of money at the top, we got to be the stand-in. We're going to need folk working on the same equipment I work on. We're going to need folk with delivery companies delivering medical equipment. We're going to need folk working that get the cryogen and the nitrogen to the hospitals, whatever they need, oxygen tanks and all this stuff. We got to fill in these gaps. So we got to make sure we know what's needed from those who do it so they can get in and they don't get a whole bunch of stumbling blocks outside of their skin, which, the way we going, we getting the oh my gosh. We finna get the anti-black hate crime bill soon, along with reparations, be one family. Another thing Delineation is doing is having non-FBAs turn against other non-FBAs. Now this sister is non-FBA. She says she's like us, but I'm like, the only thing I can see is maybe because she has some weave in their perception of what Black Americans supposed to look like overseas. That's it, because I'm like, you don't look like us. However, I like what she was saying, and she proved the point. Check it out.
I love how you guys are all liars. You know what I love about being African and not looking or sounding African is that I have experienced racism from Africans not knowing that I'm African. I've traveled Africa. I've traveled. See, I'm well cultured. I'm well traveled, right? And everybody assumes that I'm Black American. And most times I don't try to correct them because I want to see how they perceive me. I want to see how they treat me. They treat me differently until they figure out that I'm African. Until I put my foot down and be like, my guy, now me African bad girl, I mean, I just baby, relax. I have experienced racism from immigrants in Africa because they thought I was a kata. So again, you guys can lie because it makes you feel good because now the truth is coming out. But like I said, a lot of you immigrants, not just Africans, you come here and think you're better than Black Americans because what the oppressors have told you. You all side with the oppressors because they told you African and Black people are wild, they're ghetto, they're this, they're that. The evidence is there. You can lie all you want, but the evidence is there. Thank you.
See, spade is being called a spade. A duck is being called a duck. A goose is being called a goose, and I love it. You having those of us who are not tethers, because tether is action-based, who are calling out the tethers, which is what we told them to be doing for the first, like let us know who these jokers are. They wouldn't let us know. So they all call strays. They realize, oh, damn, that's kind of, for my FBA fam, hold on. You remember growing up? See, for those of us who are about 40 and older, maybe some of you are 30, you growing up with your cousin did something, you didn't know he did something, you didn't know she did something, and the switch come and get the licking, and you getting hit too. Oh, wait. Whoa, wait. Whoa, what I do? You was with them. You was with them. I don't know if you didn't do it, but you was with them. You're with them right now, so you was probably with them then, so you both getting it. And now the non-FBA is like, yo, I don't like the, God, oh, this thing. I don't like that. Let me go, hey, yeah. Buddy out of line. Get him, not me. And I love it. Be One family, appreciate you for all the love and support. Till next time, be one.